Alright folks, we're making a quick trip to the man cave to talk about two great knives, but for me one of them's better than the other. We've got the Spyderco Dragonfly 2. This is the micro melt PD1 sprint run. It's got that for end handles. And we've got the Spyderco Ambitious. Again, FRN handles. This one is in 8 CR13 MOV. So quite opposite ends of the steel spectrum for sure. But you can get this in like S35 VN and stuff like that. Alright, so let's look at these knives. So they're actually, let's put them on a flat surface here. They're actually very similar in length. I'll put it where it's so yeah. So let's match the tips. So you can see the Ambitious is a little bit longer than these Dragonfly, but not by much. If we line up the handles, yeah, there you go. It's just a little bit longer, a little bit wider, but I like that. I'll explain in a second why. We've got definitely a chunkier blade on the Ambitious and a little babier, smaller blade on the Dragonfly. You can see the Dragonfly has a wire clip and the Ambitious has just a regular style kind of sheet metal clip. The Ambitious has a liner lock. You can see that there. And then the Dragonfly has the back lock right there. Both really good knives. The Dragonfly is insanely light. It's like 1 ounce or something, 1.2 ounces. This is 3 ounces, so it's about 2.5 times the weight. And it's because it's got metal liners in it, whereas this guy has no liners. All right, so I'm gonna tell you right now I like this one a lot better, and I'm actually gonna be selling this one. I'm gonna tell you why. In a knife this small, this choil kind of annoys me. You could have this blade come back, you could have more cutting edge, all that kind of stuff, because you can hold this 4 fingers just fine without that choil. And I find that choil, I'm just not using it for anything. When I'm cutting boxes and stuff, I'm holding it like this or like this. So I kind of find this choil useless for me. Maybe for you guys, you find you use the choil a lot. Let me know in the comments. I find I'm just not using it, and I feel like it's wasted blade length. And then I find the handle, because it's kind of half moon shaped in here, my middle 2 fingers aren't really making much contact with anything, and they have to kind of almost do a Spidey grip, where my pinky finger and my index finger are kind of sticking out more than the 2 middle fingers. It just feels weird and uncomfortable to me. But otherwise, this thing has a really thin blade stock. You can see that there. It slices like crazy. It's a very slicey blade. You can see the Ambitious has a much chunkier, wider blade stock, and then it does thin out towards the tip though. I haven't had any trouble cutting with it so far. So what I do like about this one is it's got a lot more full of a handle. It fills my hand nicely and comfortably. And then there's no choil, so I get more cutting edge. And, I don't have any extra handle sticking out the back, so it makes it nice and compact and useful for me. These have basically the exact same blade lengths on them. I believe it's 2.3 inches or I think it's 5.8 centimeters on the Dragonfly and 5.9 on the Ambitious, which means I can take this one on a plane. In my country, I can fly domestically with a pocket knife with a blade less than 6 centimeters. So where I live, I can do that. And actually, you can fly internationally that way too, depending on where you're going. Can't do that flying into the States, though. So yeah, this one's made in China. This one's made in Japan. So you've definitely got that. If you're super anti-China, you're not going to like this. But what I like about it is the design. It's just a kind of a little chonker, and it's a great little EDC. It's still relatively lightweight, but heavy enough that you know it's in your pocket, and I like that, and it kind of reminds you it's there. And then it just fits well in my hand, and I feel like I can use all that blade length. I could do some feather sticking. I can, cut vegetables. I can cut boxes, open packages, all that fun stuff that you do with an EDC knife. The thumb ramp, I could take or leave, but actually it does feel nice. So I think I'm okay with it. But I just find this feels way better in my hand than the Dragonfly does, and that's why I'm more into this knife. I bought the cheaper version, the 8CR13 MOV. This is actually a pretty good steel. This is probably about, Spyderco does the steel about as good as you can get. I think it's a 61 to 62 HRC if I remember correctly. So for a cheaper steel, it's very stainless, and it does maintain an edge okay, which I'm fine with. I like sharpening my stuff, so I'm fine with that. But I might, just because, more so because of the handle color, I might get the S35 yen version because I like the blue handle scales on that one. But yeah, I really, really like this knife, and I think this one's going to be on the chopping block. I think I'm going to sell it. Very handy little knife for sure. Weighs almost nothing. Like, it literally feels like air, and very slicey, perfect for cutting boxes. This one won't be as good as at cutting boxes, no doubt. But just the ergonomics, at first it felt fine, but I just find the more I used it, the more I disliked it, which is unusual for me. Usually it's the opposite. So just not for me. Doesn't mean it's not for you. But I thought I'd make a comparison video kind of showing these two knives because I couldn't find any comparing them. There's not a lot on the Ambitious that's recent. There's a lot of old videos on the Ambitious because it's been around for a while. But I do really like this knife. So we'll see how it holds up. I'm sure it'll hold up just fine. The centering on it is fantastic. So no issues there. And I do like having the steel liners, and it's really easy to open. The one thing I would have changed with this design is just having a little cutout right here for your index finger so that it doesn't slide up onto the blade. I could definitely see that possibly happening. If you're holding it tight, obviously it's not, and if you're careful, it won't, but you definitely have to think about it, I think, with this one a little bit more, whereas on this guy, your finger's in that choil, so there's one benefit of the choil, I guess. But I would much rather see this little kind of divot coming out to be right here, and no choil, and the blade coming back all the way. I feel like I'm losing some cutting edge there, so when I'm cutting vegetables and stuff, it's not quite long enough sometimes. So yeah, I think this guy's on the chopping block, but it's not like I don't like it. It's not, maybe not for me. If I was using it occasionally, it'd be okay. I like how it looks folded though. If you fold it up, it looks nice. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm saying there, but I think they both look good folded up. But I think this one looks kind of more cool folded up. That little cutout in the handle just makes it look cooler, even though for me it's not functional. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a quick video on these. They're very, very neat knives. I really am digging the Spydercos lately. I've got a Demco coming that I'm gonna do a review on as well. So getting into the folders, getting into the EDC. But I do like the Spyderco knives. I think they do a really good job. I think they're kind of neat. So yeah, thanks for watching.